This is Daniel Ludvigson, Superintendent of Long Prairie-Grey Eagle, and this is Thunder Spotlight, where we learn a little bit more about the people that it takes to reach each and every child that walks through our doors. Today on Thunder Spotlight, we're going to meet a few of the people that play a vital role in determining the plans and goals for where the Long Prairie-Grey Eagle Public School wants to be in the future. Obviously, the whole community plays a very vital role in this. And on that note, on November 6, 2023, we are doing a community input session, and everyone is invited. Food is served at 5 to 6, and then at 6, we get started with the community input session where we want your feedback on where you want the school district to put its sights on. Where do we want to go, and how do we want to serve the community, the youth in our community? So what's my own role? I'm the superintendent, and my primary role is taking a look at those plans that kind of fit into the 5 to 10 year range. What do we need to do today so that we can make sure that in 5 to 10 years we have a good building, for example? So, kind of expound upon that. Building projects, larger ones anyway, take a long time to plan. So a lot of times, a year in advance, we're making plans in order to make projects happen this next summer. And I work with various companies and both financial and facilities to put together a team to make projects happen. And I work with our staff inside to make sure that we put together a project that's going to meet the needs of our students and our staff. I also play a role with the school board in determining our policies, staffing recommendations, and program recommendations, and trying to determine how our fiscal resources can support those things, as well as the building projects, and what we can do to improve our fiscal abilities and capacities so we can provide better programming and better serve the students in our community. Greetings. Welcome to Thunder Spotlight. Let's start with your name and title.
I'm Mitchell Ganske. I am the technology director for the school.
So, what are you primarily responsible for?
Everything technology, Chromebooks for students and teacher classroom devices, Wi-Fi, internet, just about everything.
And you play a pretty big role with security too, don't you?
Yes. Security system is part of the technology department, and we help keep kids safe.
So, what's something you hope for in Long Prairie-Grey Eagle's future?
Well, that's a hard question. I would say that we just need to keep moving forward and not get left behind in technology because it changes constantly.
There's always new things on the horizon, like artificial intelligence, for example.
Yes, right.
What's something that you hope people know about your position and what you do?
How involved it is, how many hats we wear in the district, which is amazing. There's a lot of back pieces in the network that that not a lot of people are aware of, but every piece is important to make everything work. So.
In particular, when things are going well and you don't notice those things as much, right?
Correct. Yes.
Well, thank you for being on Thunder Spotlight, and that was Mr. Ganske. Welcome to Thunder Spotlight. Let's start with your name.
I am Kelsey Paurus. I am the Activities Director for the Long Prairie-Grey Eagle Public School District.
So, what does that mean you are in charge of?
I am in charge of planning and organizing and supervising any activity in grades 7 through 12 that are based in Long Prairie. So like any event we host, I am in charge of planning and organizing and supervising.
And I know people tend to assume that's athletics, but that's actually more than that, correct?
Yep, so I encompass band, choir, one-act play. I help with what Mr. Lamb needs for the songs and scenes type of stuff as well. And then any type of club, like club cheerleading, we help get going this year. So any type of activity, I generally have a small or big part in the piece of planning.
Very good. So how do you play a role in how we determine as a school district where we're going in the future?
I would say by communication with students and parents and other community members about what type of activities we want to give the students an opportunity to have within our school district.
So part of that is making program recommendations, staffing recommendations, adjusting policies and things like that.
Yep,
correct?
absolutely.
So what is something that you hope people understand about your position?
I hope they understand how much time it takes between myself and my coaches and our administration team. We're always on the go, I feel. I couldn't do my job if I didn't have the support of a great coaching staff along with an administration team. And there are many days where we all have to be in different places all at one time for activities, so I rely heavily on help from my coaching staff and admin team in order to have the best home events that we could possibly have.
And speaking of multiple places at one time, just a quick plug to if you have any interest in driving a bus, Askamet's looking for drivers. So if you want to be a part of making sure the basketball team gets where it needs to go, give them a shout out. With that, thanks for being on Thunder Spotlight.
Thank you.
Welcome to Thunder Spotlight. Let's
Thank
start
you.
with your name.
Sherri Evenson, I'm the business manager here at Prairie-Grey Public Schools.
And so what does that mean you're primarily in charge of?
Well, now I'm in charge of the fiscal responsibilities, everything from payroll to accounts payable, getting all the bills paid. And I'm also a little unique in the fact that I work with health and safety, some long-term facility maintenance, security, things like that.
Yeah, you actually have a fairly big role in security, don't you?
I do. Yeah, we were part of an initiative where we, along with putting in electronics to lock down our buildings, we train our staff on ALICE, which is a type of area where we teach teachers how to be the safest they possibly can if there's ever an intruder or any sort of need for evacuation.
Yeah, that's very important in these days, unfortunately.
It is.
So what are some ways you play a role in planning for Prairie-Grey Eagles' future?
Well, budget is a big part. Of course, when you're working in any sort of industry, payroll, personnel, that kind of thing takes up the biggest majority of your dollars that you are given. We also account for contract changes, not just with personnel, but also transportation. We keep an eye out for any sort of utility changes, like if there's an increase in fuel, increase in electricity, that kind of thing. And then the other big ticket item is our insurance. Everything from our vehicle liability, our building insurance, our workers' comp, that kind of stuff. So when we're going through that budgeting time, we make sure we account for all the larger pieces.
Yeah, and as a part of that, we generally figure out what we can do with those dollars, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
So what's something you'd like to see in Prairie-Grey Eagles' future?
I would like to see a little bit more interaction with school board and even our business community and maybe some interested parents, where from my side of the coin, when we work with financials, having the outside entities be a larger part of where we're headed, what we're doing, what our needs are, that kind of stuff. Maybe make a finance committee or something like that where we can get other ideas besides what is outside of these walls.
To kind of figure out what kind of school we want to be.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Well, that is Sherri Evenson. Thank you for your time.
Oh, you're welcome.
Welcome to Thunder Spotlight. Let's start with your name.
My name is Barton Rud. I'm secondary school principal at LPGE Secondary.
So, as the principal, what would you say you're primarily responsible for?
Running the building, making sure that staff and student needs are met throughout the day.
I bet that takes some time and effort.
It takes a little bit of time. You're dealing with people. These are not widgets. These are people they have concerns, hopes, fears, everything else. That's what we try to address on a timely and efficient basis at our school.
So, as the principal of the secondary, what role do you plan in planning for Prairie-Grey Eagle?
I think at the principal's level, you're kind of the linchpin to bring everybody together, and then you're also the voice for the building to the district itself, so that everybody's needs are met and everybody's voices all voices are heard.
And you would probably agree that at the principal level, you guys are kind of front and center for trying to make curriculum decisions and what we provide in the classrooms.
Absolutely, we do the coordinating, bringing in the information, hosting the meetings, making sure all parties are, heard, concerns are met, and then bringing it obviously up to the district and then the board level, and then being able to answer those questions from either the board, the community, staff themselves, or even the students.
So what do you hope to see in Long Prairie-Grey Eagles' future?
I think a continuation of what we're already doing now, to the degree that we are able to offer increasing amounts of programming and opportunities that you don't typically find in other schools our size. And I think our unique blend of staffing, not only that, and the programs that we are able to offer, along with our, the ability to involve ourselves at a level that, provides those opportunities to students that other schools can or will never be able to meet.
So that'd be like programs like college in the schools, right? As an
College and
example.
schools, yeah, we work very closely with CLC with that program. I mean, kids are able to, if they do, if they decide to take that on, they could literally wipe out their first year of college, by dutifully taking part in the programs, getting those college credits. Absolutely.
Well, that sounds pretty good. And so thank you for being on Thunder Spotlight.
Thank you.
Well, welcome to Thunder Spotlight.
Thank you.
Let's start with your name.
I'm Tammy Cebulla, an elementary principal.
So as the elementary principal, what are you primarily responsible for?
So I take care of the whole elementary building, somewhat preschool through 6th grade, mostly just kindergarten through 6th grade, and we do the scheduling, the programming, curriculum, all elements of the elementary building.
And I bet that takes a little bit of time and effort.
Yes, it does.
And so what is something you hope to see in Long Prairie-Grey Eagles' future?
I hope that eventually we'll just keep adding more things that encourage kids to want to come to school. I think attendance is a big deal for elementary kids to get a really good start, and that can always be improved, so I want to keep adding more and more things to encourage kids to come to school more.
It's a little bit difficult to teach if you're not here, right?
Exactly.
And so what would you say is one of your primary roles in planning for the future for Long Prairie-Grey Eagle?
I think our administrative team works really well together, and we add things, we bounce ideas off of each other, and so planning is easier with a team, and I think we work well on that.
Oh, most certainly. And I imagine as a principal, you play a front and center role in providing feedback to teachers in the classroom and that sort of thing.
Yes, we do, or I do a lot of the observations, but also work with teachers directly. We have a really close family group here, and so we work well together.
Well, that's Tammy Cebulla.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much. Welcome to Thunder Spotlight.
Hi,
So let's start with your name.
I'm Brad Evenson, and I've been in this district for many, many years.
And so what are some of your current job titles?
I am the 21st Century financial manager and then overall coordinator of the grant. I also do community education. I'm in charge of A&I, which is the achievement integration, and a couple of other things too.
So this is probably a tricky question for you, but what would you say you're primarily in charge of?
I don't know. I think my office and the people that work with me, I think we're a service organization kind of that services and programs things that help kids and the community out. So when people ask me what I do, I said I try to serve the public and serve the kids of the district to give them extra things that we normally don't have during the regular day.
So very good. So what would you say that your role is in planning where Long Prairie-Grey Eagle wants to go as a school district?
Oh boy, I think it's a lot of things. I know the one thing that we really try to, like I said before, is we try to give kids a chance to explore different avenues that they might not be able to. Part of my job used to be doing like athletics and those kind of things, and I just see that as a tweak We offer a number of different programming after school, before school, on weekends, to give kids a chance, and actually our community a chance to learn new things and to plan for their future, but not only that, to help the school district move forward in whatever it might be, whether it's, talking about getting a new class that helps someone expand their horizons on a certain thing, or if it's we're helping out with homework or doing daycare. And so as far as future things, it's always looking to the future and how we can serve the community better.
So I know one thing that you play a role into is communicating with our community, community organizations and businesses. What's that like?
Interesting. I think we have a lot of great partnerships that people maybe even don't know about. We have some partnerships with businesses that are in town. We also have lots of partnerships especially in the 21st century realm. We have a lot of partnerships with a lot of universities and education places. Freshwater is a big partner. Targeted Services. We have a huge partnership with Alec Tech and Central Lakes Community College. We do a lot with them. They help with our stuff. And then we have simple little things with just local businesses, and then we have classes that are offered through the University of Minnesota Extension Service. So a lot of community, but a lot of outside community help. And then we also do, we're in charge of stakeholders community. So we get community input, and then we've actually made some partners out of that through the county. They help service our kids as far as health needs and some of those things. So lots of different partnerships, and always looking for more.
So what's something you'd like to see in Long Prairie-Grey Eagles' future?
I think the biggest thing is continued growth. I mean, whether it's towards a better community or a better school district, or just being able to keep offering more and more unique things for our kids that they couldn't necessarily have in other districts our size. I mean, we try to pride ourselves in that we bring a lot of different things to the table. We have kids that are involved with, and then meeting the needs of our community better and better. That's one of the things that we always try to focus on, and that's why we're very, very cognizant of always getting surveys and making sure that we have feedback from the community. That's why we host stakeholders. That's how it started, is we wanted that constant feedback that what does the community want, what do kids need to be successful, and how do we expand that on a continual basis so that our future looks like it should, not how it did in the past. So,
very good answers. So that's Brad Evenson.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, thanks, Daniel.
And that concludes this episode of Thunder Spotlight. Remember, if you have suggestions for other organizations or programs you'd like to learn a little bit more about, leave it in the comments or send a direct message, and we might include it in our next Thunder Spotlight episode.